Hello and welcome to another episode of It Came From the Page. And today we're going to be going over my picks for the Garbaugust 2.5 A Wasted Weekend. So, normally it is supposed to be a chill, and it should be a normal chill weekend where people just read one, even a half of it, even a short story, whatever. I, of course, am dumb. And last year, I actually listened to I listened to 8 audiobooks and read 2 physical books for the Wasted Weekend. And I have 20 books this year, and I'm hoping to get to 11. So obviously, I don't want to get to all, I don't want to get to all 20. It's not happening. Also, I cheat and add an extra day to the Wasted Weekend, so I do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just to give me time to actually do all these. Of course, if I don't get it, it's fine. This is just this very silly idea that I like to do, and it's kind of become a tradition. So it's like a weekend vlog where I listen to as many things as possible. And also, I'm going to try to do some physical books as well. We will see how that goes. Last year, I began the Wasted Weekend by listening to an audio cassette recording, and Criminale himself literally sent me this wonderful little tape recorder. And I only have one book that is feasible at all to do for this. One, because it's the only other cassette book I have, but also 2, because it's the only one that's short enough to make it count. And this is the cassette for the first Dark Tower book. And this was read by Stephen King himself. Look at this. Stevie, what is that outfit? It's between 4 tapes, but it's only 6 hours long. Now, unlike with most of the audiobooks I'm going to be talking about, that's like a full normal 6 hours. So that's a pretty big chunk of time, because usually with audiobooks I speed it up to 1.5 is what I'm going to be doing for most of these, but... So I want to do one of those. And then I have a few other physical books that are kind of like potentials. There is this book. It's a comedy book called A Martian Wouldn't Say That. And it's a whole bunch of silly memos written by studio executives to various television shows throughout history. And it's just short. It's just quick. It'll take me 10 minutes to read it. But I thought it would be fun to read kind of a trashy comedy book. I have a choose-your-own-adventure book, Vampire Express. Oh, Express. Vampire Express. I'm very excited for this one. I love choose-your-own-adventure books, and this has a great cover, and it also has just a great vibe to it. Because it's someone's on a train ride to Transylvania in the deepest Romania. And they're going to visit their Uncle Andrew, so hello. That's my name. Then I have this Star Wars Goosebumps ripoff, which happened in the 90s, called Star Wars Galaxy of Fear. It's got a cool... I don't know how the holographic cover is showing up, but it's very cool and very dumb. And then I have Exploring Toronto, which is, again, a super short little book full of pictures. But it's an outdated travel book from the 70s. I always like to read some kind of vintage non-fiction trash, and, that's the perfect fit for that. Now going on to the comic books that I want to read. Comic books will take no time at all. So, if I put on 20 comics, I could definitely do that if I just did comic books. But I'm trying to keep a little variety and slice of life. So, first off, there is a book called Dracula Motherfucker. And that is a graphic novel that looks awesome and has an amazing title. So, I'm keeping with my vampies. Killraven the Omnibus, which is a old Marvel comic that is meant to be a sequel to War of the Worlds. And it's a very strange book. I'm going to show the cover on here, and you're going to be like, that's a book that exists. And it is, and I will be reading it. Now, like, it's an omnibus, so, like, those are, like, a little bit longer, so, like, I might not read that entire thing. I might only read, like, one or two of them. Uh, Archie versus Sharknado, which is a one-shot comic book where, yes, the characters from Archie fight Sharknado. It's I don't know. Life is life. I want to reread the Pumpkinhead comic book series by Cullen Bunn. I read that a few years ago and I loved it. It was so good, and I want to reread it because I own all the books digitally, and I'm only going to count the reading the entire 5 issue series for like a book for this, and then last but certainly not least is the Star Trek and Planet of the Apes crossover book called The Primate Directive. Because, come on, The Primate Directive? Hey, yeah. So, yes, totally down for those. Now, there's a few other things that I want to hit. Now we're going on to the audiobook portion. So, on audible.com, I had to say .com because this is where I have it. Kelsey from Simon Slasher so kindly gifted me I'm in Love with Mothmen. That's a super quick audiobook, and I will for sure be listening to that for the Wasted weekend. Although, is it wasted? Sounds pretty amazing to me. And then there is kind of a pseudo men's adventure-y comedy book that looks really fun and is narrated by the author from Legends and Lattes. That's why I'm picking this one up at all. This is called Wasteland Warriors #1. And look at that raccoon. He's a cyber raccoon. I'm in. It looks dumb. And then, of course, it would not be a wasted weekend without some sweeta smut. And for that pick, I'm doing Barbarian Alien, which is the second book in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. I read the first book not too long ago, and actually I really liked it. It was very fun. It was very cute. I quite enjoyed that book, so I'm excited to read more of that series, and you always have to get some sweet smut. And then there is the first book in the Murderbot Diaries called All Systems Red. Now, I don't know if this counts as trash. Again, it's a little novella. It's nice and sweet and short, but I don't know anything about this other than the fact that it's called the Murderbot Diaries, and to me that sounds like it would be fun and trashy. And I also know that I did use artwork from one of the covers from this book once when I was running an Alien RPG game. That's an entirely different story that nobody wants to hear. And then of course, I gotta get my sweet buzz from Warhammer in there, so I have a Warhammer 40k novel. This is Shadow Sun by Phil Kelly. I've had this for a while, excited to get into that one. A Cozy Cat Mysteries. There is a book called Scaredy Cat, which I found on Everand that I'm going to be listening to. I might listen to the very first Planet of the... Oh, ow, God. Planet of the Loomises. Ow. I might be listening to the very first Planet of the Apes book that existed. So most people don't know that the movie Planet of the Apes is adapted from a novel. So I'm interested to read that original novel. Again, it's super short. Then I'm going over to Slash Tracks, the YouTube channel, to listen to Friday the 13th Part 3. The novelization. Then I'm going to be listening to Night of the Mannequins on Everand, a one that I might not get to because it's a little bit longer than everything else. There is a book called Troll Slayer, which is part of the Gotrek, and you can't even see me. You can only see Loomis right now. It's fine. You're looking at Loomis's fur and whatevs. Okay. Anyways, the Warhammer fantasy novel, Troll Slayer, which is the first book in the Gotrek and Felix line. I got the first omnibus as a gift from Amy Noel Reads for my birthday, and I have the first audiobook, and I was like, oh, I will listen to that because it went on sale. So that one is a bit longer than the others, so I don't know if I'll get to that one. But yeah, that is my pile of possibilities for Garbaugust 2.5, The Wasted Weekend. What are you guys going to be reading? I would love to know. And I apologize for the amount of cat butt in this video. Cheers. Bye-bye.